Welcome along, guys. It's just a very short trial, really. I picked up some new gear for the old YouTube here. A couple of microphones, so you should be getting stereo sound. And I just popped out on the old ZZ-R today because it's Valentine's Day, 14th of February, in the year of 2023. And the main reason I wanted to pop out, as I say, was just give these microphones a little go. So I'll chop in a little sound clip here. Drop a comment below if you could do, guys, and let me know what you think of the What I'll do, we'll just do a very basic video about how this bike's coping, and it's just covered 10,000 miles now from new. It's a 1999 model, so she's 23, 24 years old now. And as the old saying goes, they don't make them like they used to. If that's a good or a bad thing, I'll leave you guys to have a think about. So we're out here in the New Forest. I'm lucky enough to live about 10 minutes away from here, I suppose, in the salubrious city of Southampton. And it's just too glorious a day to be stuck at home painting or repointing the walls, which I really should be doing, especially it's half term over here for the kids. Just bear in mind, guys, the digital camera on the iPhone does make things look better than they actually are. But she's holding up really well. It's not been washed for about 4 months, bless it, and I have been using it when I do pop out in winter, and it's covered in salt. And let's get a bit of a close up there for the fairing for you, so you can see that. You might just be able to make it out. And the finish on these is not their strong point. Many strong points ZZ-R600s do have. Finish is not one of them. So if you don't stay on top of them, they do rot very quickly. This one does get a fairly easy life, I guess, compared to years ago when I used to commute every day to and from work and to Gatwick Airport and things when I was on the firearms unit up there. Yes, I'm an ex-police officer. Left the force many years ago. Many reasons. Any of you that's still on the job would know the reasons why, so we won't get too political with that one. Anyway, let's crack on about the old ZZ-R and how she's been over winter. Surprisingly enough, actually, for a ZZ-R6, the carb icing's not been too bad. On the exceptionally cold days, i.e. below freezing, until it fully warms up, you get that classic 3.5 cylinder Kawasaki. Again, I don't like the saying, but they all do it. And the truth is, all Kawasaki's do it. Once they're fully warm, they are generally speaking okay around town. On motorways and stuff, you will still get a bit of carb icing if it's exceptionally cold and damp. Fog is the worst thing. If there's fog or mist, you will carb ice up on one of these. It's as guaranteed as anything these days. Well, I think generally speaking, she's holding up really well. It's not going to be a long video, so we'll just do a couple of little beauty shots. Being a beauty shot, I won't include myself in it. I'll get myself out of the shadow though. There you go. You'll see some rust forming on the centre stand. The pogo stick, shock is yeah, it's what it is. It keeps the wheel in the straight line, I suppose, is about the best thing I can say about that. Generally speaking though, fit and finish is holding up really well. I do leave all the cables up. 2 throttle cables on these ones. I've got some fresh oil running through there, which I did just before winter. That makes a bit of a difference. And new oil and filter, which I did October, November time, can't really remember. Keeps it running, hopefully as you'll hear, quiet as a watch. I do put Motol in there. It's very expensive, and lots of people would say, why bother in a bike worth about 30 quid, but it is transport, and it keeps the engine running sweet as a nut in these. At 10,000 miles, there's really no need to worry about valve clearances. If it ever does get to 24, 26,000, I'll think about that then. My experience of these bikes is quite extensive. I have covered many miles on Kawasaki's of various models. And yes, you might find 1 or 2 valves very slightly out less than 22,000 miles. It's hardly worth the time, effort and cost to do, to be honest with you. Yes, if you're really that worried about stacking huge mileages on one of these, then yeah, by all means, do the valve clearances. It's a camshaft out job. A lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. And to be honest with you, it doesn't make a massive difference in a bike of this value. Just jump on it and ride it, guys. They're a really good machine. Have I had any problems with it? Short answer is no. No problems at all with it. I changed the sealing washer, as I guess is the best thing to call it. It's probably got a very long name on the Kawasaki parts website. For the fuel tank level sender, it's probably where it wasn't used for a couple of years and it's just all gone all dry and hard. And it wasn't a big job to tank off, drain the fuel out, pop the fuel level sender out. You got to do a bit of jiggery pokery to get the fuel level sender out. It's quite fiddly. And then just pop the new rubber sealing ring, little 8mm bolts on there. Don't over tighten them because you'll take the whole point of having the gasket out. Just nip them up and then quarter of a turn for good luck, and they'll be good as gold. The leak wasn't too bad. It was just, I went in the garage one day, smelt a very slight smell of petrol, and looked down on the left hand side. It's one of the few bikes I should keep on the side stand, and you'll see a little tiny bit of staining just down there where that little silver plate is. Classic telltale sign. Fuel leak. I knew straight away what it was. Well, I actually had one in my parts supply, which was a good bit of luck actually. It's not unique to the ZZ-R6, that part number. I'm not sure what bike it was off, but I jumped on the parts website, checked the parts number, and believe it or not, I had exactly the right part in stock. So I took all of about 20 minutes to change that, and it has been a case of, other than that, I've just stayed on top of the usual tyre pressures, brake fluid levels. Obviously the oil filter was done, so just monitor that for the first few miles, but these don't really burn a lot of oil, or certainly they shouldn't do. And it's held up really well, and these are a really good option for winter commuting, guys. They do ride relatively well. Take it in context, it's not going to keep up with the 600RR. I still think the CBR 600RR is borderline the perfect balance for a road bike. I am a Honda fan, I don't hold back. While they can be a little bit characterless, the CBR 600RRs, particularly the Gen 1s, with the so-called right way up forks, but I challenge you to find a more beautifully balanced bike for the road than the CBR 600RR. And I may well put one back in the collection at some point. And they are also superb on track. I've got quite a bit of experience of those on the track. So there's not too much really to say, guys. I don't do vast mileages anymore. I picked this up about 7,500 miles, I think it had from memory. Just gone over 10,000 miles now. One thing I have noticed, let's put these little hooks back up. Oh, the microphone's popped on there, there we go. And those are exceptionally useful actually. I carry a tank bag sometimes, and what I do, I alternate between putting it on the tank and then clipping to the back, and those little bungee points are excellent. These are really a practical machine, guys. Highly recommend it. So probably not the most interesting video. I just thought I'd come out and try the microphones out. Give a couple of shots of the odd ZZ-R6 there. Let me know your thoughts on these microphones. If they're any good, I'll try them on the VFR as well. Right then, guys, thanks for that.